don't just attend church on Sunday mornings or whatever. That's not enough. There's so much excitement and learning to be had when we study on our own and really pay attention to the stories in the Bible. And yeah, I don't just mean the ones that you learned in Sunday school or Bible class, but if you're not reading on your own, you're missing out on so much. It's also important to engage in biblical podcasts, such as pastors that post their sermons or little tidbit messages. There's somebody that I really, really love his podcast. And Catholics, like normally I wouldn't really do anything with Catholics, but this guy, he doesn't really like push the Catholic agenda too much, or, the books of the Catholic Bible. I mean, he talks about them once in a while, but mostly he talks about like super, actual Bible stories of Bible lessons. And I think he's just fantastic. And so his name is Bishop Barron. So you can look him up. He is my number one person to listen to right now. I just really, really enjoy his podcast. And so I listen to that work. And as much as you can, listen with intention. The same as you watch TV shows. Listen to the sermons. And just going to church is not the same as listening and learning from different pastors. And please take notes on the sermons to keep yourself occupied when you're in church. Don't play games on your phone. You're better than that. You're more intelligent than that. Keep listening until you find one that you really like. In order to be a disciple of Christ, you have to live, breathe, and engage and act just like him. Study his example. Study his behavior. What did Jesus do? He taught, sure, and not everyone is cut out for that. But he engaged with the people. He didn't judge them. He asked them questions. He took time for himself. He studied the scriptures. So here's a breakdown. 1, study the scriptures. 2, learn from the scriptures. 3, research various topics of the Bibles, of the scriptures. 4, listen to various pastors and podcasts. 5, follow Jesus' example on how to learn and treat others. 6, engage in biblical learning as much as possible. And 7, empty yourself so that you have room for Jesus. Let's talk about number 7, empty yourself. If you feel your mind and soul with, I have to do it myself. I don't want to fail. I don't want to ask God because he already has so much to do. Okay, listen, he created the entire world in 6 days, okay? I think he can handle your small problems. And yes, it is a big problem to you. But to God, it's not a worry. Let's think about the people on the boat and when they were worrying because they were afraid of the storm. Jesus had to be woken up from a deep sleep and calm the storm because they were afraid. They let their humanness take over. Jesus woke up. He said, oh, come on. You have little faith. Really? Storm, be gone. They let the Jesus who dwelled inside them to fall asleep, and they saw Jesus sleeping, and so they were worried. You need to keep the Jesus inside of you awake. Wake up. Trust God. He's got this. He has your anxiety, your worry, your mistrust. Give it to God. Don't hang on to it. You don't need it. I know it's hard, but you have to. You have to let go and let God take over. I know it's hard for us humans to understand, but trust me, you are better off letting God take over. It will be less stressful because you will know that God has your back. Satan does not have your back. Satan is like the king of manipulation. All he wants to do is manipulate and control you. People think that God wants to control us, but it's like completely the opposite. Satan is the one that wants to control you. Satan is the one that wants to keep you away from God. Don't let Satan do that. He wants to take your faith away from God. Don't let Satan do that. Satan doesn't want you to trust in God, but you must. You must.